Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, pending court decision on leaded AvGas raises alarm. Museum's objective to bring ME-262 to AirVenture 2025. CAF bringing iconic Warbirds to Sun and Fun. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Pending court decision on leaded AvGas raises alarm. A state court in California is poised to potentially eliminate the sale of leaded AvGas when it rules on March 5th on a motion brought by the California Center for Environmental Health to arbitrarily force several FBOs and GA fuel distributors in the state to transition to offering only a new unleaded AvGas. Gamma and other aviation groups rightfully raised the alarm that the CEH motion is premature and counterproductive, potentially causing unnecessary harm to the GA community. Pete Bunce, Gamma president and CEO, said in a statement, quote, "There is a concerted effort currently underway to ensure that there's a safe and efficient transition to an unleaded future for piston engine aircraft. We have seen some key milestones reached to progress efforts, but there is still significant work needed before a full-scale transition can take place. The CEH motion is based on a brand new high-octane unleaded fuel, which is currently available at just 2 California airports. Furthermore, several aviation companies, such as Lycoming, Piper Aircraft, and Textron Aviation, maintain that there remain potential problems with the current unleaded AvGas that the CEH is trying to force on the piston aircraft community. The issue concerns materials incompatibilities identified in several aircraft types, and also that the fuels are not yet fully certified for use in many aircraft types and engine models." After the break, NTSB calls out FlexJet for near miss at Chicago Midway.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. NTSB calls out FlexJet for near miss at Chicago Midway. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy stated that the crew of a FlexJet aircraft failed to abide by a controller's instruction to hold short of the runway that a Southwest Airlines flight was about to land on. Fortunately, the Southwest crew was completely alert and immediately executed a go-around seconds before touching down with a FlexJet aircraft in front of it. The Southwest aircraft cleared the runway and avoided a potentially disastrous collision between it and the FlexJet aircraft. Limited access for SpaceX engineers at FAA. 3 SpaceX engineers brought in as unpaid temporary special government employees, or SGEs, at the FAA have no access to any systems under the agency's Office of Commercial Space Transportation, the office which licenses space launches for commercial operations such as SpaceX. The 3 engineers, Brady Glantz, Theodore Malaska, and Thomas Kiernan, are considered temporary and they are allowed to remain employed by SpaceX, subject to federal criminal conflict of interest requirements. DPAA identifies Air Force pilot killed in World War II crash. Nearly 80 years after a doomed World War II mission, a U.S. Army Air Force aviator was finally identified as First Lieutenant Herbert G. Tennyson of Wichita, Kansas. He was among the crew members of the Heaven Can Wait bomber, which was shot down in March 1944. Tennyson, then age 24, was one of 11 airmen aboard the aircraft when it was struck by anti-aircraft fire. The Defense Prisoners of War and Missing in Action Accounting Agency, or DPAA, said, quote, "Several aircraft circled the crash site in hopes of locating any possible survivors, but none could be seen." NTSB prelim report on Scottsdale Learjet accident. The NTSB released its preliminary report on the accident involving a Gates Learjet 35A on February 10th at Scottsdale Airport in Arizona. The aircraft was substantially damaged while the captain was killed in the accident, and 4 others were injured. Investigators were able to obtain security camera footage as well as videos recorded by witness cell phone cameras. A video captured the aircraft, and it can be seen with its left main landing gear trailing aft from its normal position. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Museum's objective to bring ME-262 to AirVenture 2025. The Military Aviation Museum in Virginia Beach is working on making an only at Oshkosh moment a reality at this year's AirVenture 2025, an arrival of its reproduction Messerschmitt Me-262 fighter jet into Wittman Regional Airport this coming July. If it happens, it would be the first time appearance for one of the few aircraft types that has not made an appearance at Oshkosh. Keegan Chetwynd, director and CEO of the Military Aviation Museum, said, quote, "We can think of no place better to bring the Me-262 reproduction than to Oshkosh because of the great appreciation EAA members and attendees have for historic aircraft." End quote. In 1993, the work to create super-accurate new-build Me-262s was started using an original airframe as a template to work from. It was the National Naval Aviation Museum's own Me-262B 1A-U1. To remove the issue of the power plant's reliability, or lack thereof, the replica 262s all have modern D-rated General Electric CJ610 jet engines. The Military Aviation Museum's aircraft first flew in 2011. Rick Larson, EAA's VP of Communities and Member Programs, said, quote, "This magnificent Me-262 would fit perfectly with our 2025 programming that's focusing on the remarkable leaps of aviation technology that occurred between the end of World War II and the early days of the Korean War." End quote. After these messages, CAF bringing iconic Warbirds to Sun and Fun.
The legendary BD-4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD-4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD-4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. CAF bringing iconic Warbirds to Sun and Fun. The Commemorative Air Force announced that it will participate in this year's Fun Aerospace Expo that runs from April 1st through 6th in Lakeland, Florida, where attendees will have the opportunity to see and fly in legendary military aircraft. Sun and Fun is one of the largest aviation events in the country and provides pilots and enthusiasts with a lineup of Warbirds as well as modern, experimental, home-built aircraft, rotorcraft, seaplanes, vintage, and bush planes. The CAF will be showcasing several favorite Warbirds at this year's show: North American P-51 Mustang Gunfighter, Douglas SBD Dauntless, North American LT-6 Texan, Beechcraft T-34 Mentor, and Fairchild PT-19. The aircraft will be on static display for guests to get up close and have a look inside and around the aircraft, as well as snap some photos. Many of them will also be available for ride experiences. Seats are limited, so book your flight today. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.